Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome to APSEC's online support program. This is your geography teacher for grade 7th, APS 4 Road Middle Wing Boys. Today we will be discussing assigned task for week 6. Dear students, we will start our presentation from Hadith. This Hadith is related to the blessed month of Ramadan. Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Whoever passed away in the state that he was fasting while seeking the pleasure of Allah, he will enter paradise." The objectives for week 6 are: students will be able to know about volcanism at hotspots, frequency of volcanic eruptions, distribution of volcanoes around the world. Dear students, you have to read the following: volcanism and hotspot on page number 16. We will discuss the frequency of volcanic eruptions and go through the map study, which will tell you about the distribution of volcanoes around the world. Don't forget to study the pictures with titles carefully and also highlight the important points on book. Now students, you have to prepare a bank of words you find difficult and new in the topics, and you can maintain a small notepad or booklet for your new vocabulary. Students, you have to go through the link given on page number 16 in Surf IT box to learn more about the world's active volcanoes. Don't forget to go through the graphic organizers, interesting facts, map reading and diagrams. Picture study and at a glance are also very important in understanding the topic. In last week, we learnt about volcanism. Volcanism refers to the processes by which materials such as magma and gases from the inside of the earth are forced onto the earth's surface. We also learnt about the different types of volcanism: underwater volcanism, volcanism at destructive plate boundaries. We also learnt the structure of volcano and how it consists of different things like vent, cone, pipe, crater, lava, magma and chamber. Now students, we will be going through the third type of volcanism, that is hotspot volcanism. Students, this is page number 16 from your textbook. Volcanism at hotspot, frequency of volcanic eruption, distribution of volcanoes around the world. These are the three topics which you have to go through. It's very important to highlight the important points and the difficult words for your own convenience. Students, we were studying about the types of volcanism. The third type of volcanism is volcanism at hotspot. Now I will be explaining the topic through an illustration. I hope it will be helpful. Volcanism at hotspot takes place when columns of molten magma in the mantle rises from the hotspot to the earth's surface. It causes melting of the crustal plate directly above it. These rising columns of magma are found in fixed location deep within the mantle. The volcano that forms the magma is called hotspot volcano, as you can see here. There's another volcano. Over the time, underwater volcano increases in height to come out of the ocean surface to form an island. Now can you see? Here are the two islands. As the crustal plate is constantly moving, it carries along the volcano, which becomes extinct after it moves away from the hotspot. A new volcano is formed, thus creating a chain of volcanic islands being formed. Now students, I am going to show you another video which is quite interesting and it will help you in understanding our topic.
A hotspot is a particularly hot part of the mantle that causes rocks to melt, producing magma. The magma rises up through the crust and forms a volcano. As the plate moves, the volcano is carried away from the hotspot and becomes inactive. A new volcano can now form above the hotspot. Over millions of years, a long chain of volcanoes can form. The oldest volcanoes in the chain are located furthest from the hotspot. The Hawaiian Islands are an example of a volcanic island chain created by a hotspot. The active volcano of Kilauea is currently located above the hotspot, and a long chain of extinct volcanoes stretches out in the direction that the plate is moving.
Now students, volcanoes can be classified according to the frequency of their eruption. Number 1 is active volcanoes. Active volcanoes erupt frequently and have erupted in recent years, as you can see in the picture. Number 2 is dormant volcanoes. They have erupted in historic times about a few hundred or thousands of years ago, but now are quiet. They are still capable of erupting. Now, third one is extinct volcanoes. They have not erupted in historic times and they are not expected to erupt again. Now student, this is figure 1.16 from your textbook. It shows the distribution of world's active volcanoes. Do you notice that the location of these volcanoes coincides with the plate boundaries? Now I'm showing you a video which will tell you in detail about the Ring of Fire.
Offer a magnificent view of nature's greatest power display.
There's been a lot of volcanic activity in 2018. Mount Mayon in the Philippines erupted in January. It continued for over a month. In February, Mount Sinabung erupted in Indonesia. Here's the ash cloud as seen from space. And in June, an eruption in Guatemala killed more than 100 people. Turns out this is pretty normal. On average, there are 10 to 20 volcanoes erupting around the world at any given time. When you look at these on a map and add volcanoes that are not currently erupting, you'll start to see a pattern. Most are concentrated here, along the edges of the Pacific Ocean. This region is known as the Ring of Fire, a stretch of hundreds of volcanoes spanning 40,000 kilometers. It's also where most of the earthquakes and tsunamis in the world take place. This year alone, the region saw 4 eruptions and 5 of the world's biggest earthquakes. The Ring of Fire is where some of history's most devastating natural disasters have happened, and will continue to happen.
Now students, that's all for week number 6. If you have any questions or queries, you can ask your teacher. Most of the work in Geography online support program is reading and comprehension, and there is no requirement of submission of assignments. However, you must maintain your booklets for important terminologies and keep record of research work, as it will be beneficial for you when the school reopens. Take care and Allah Hafiz.